Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here, and it's everybody's favorite time of the month. That's right, real estate market statistics time. These real estate market statistics are for Hillsborough County for June 2025. Now, as you can see, we are back in Studio D. D is for downstairs. So this is downstairs at my house. This plant has gotten phenomenally large. If you go back and look at videos from a year and a half ago, this thing was quite a bit smaller than this. This thing is definitely getting super bushy. You might also be asking, Kyle, I have the report in my hand here, downloaded from that link in the description down below. I have the report in my hand, but the report actually says May. Why are you calling this June numbers? Well, mainly because June's when I record this, and the most recent complete set of stats are from May. Hang on a second. Our video assistant just stopped by, so this is Bijou, my real estate assistants. If you do decide to contact me for help with the home, Bijou is one of the people that will be helping you along the way. So she's very sweet. But I'm trying to record the stats video for these nice people, Bijou. Thank you. So May is the most recent complete set of numbers, and what we do is we always look at month compared year over year. So we're comparing May 2025 numbers to May 2024 numbers. The reason we do that is because weeks and days are way too short of a time frame, and you will have things like holidays or particular weather patterns that really throw a monkey wrench into short-term comparisons. So month is kind of the smallest block that you can do. And the additional problem is if you compare month to month, there's a natural ebb and flow in the real estate cycle through the course of a calendar year. So for example, wintertime is naturally a low point. So if you're comparing winter numbers to fall numbers are always going to be a little bit higher. Same thing with the school year. Things tend to drop off immediately before school ends and immediately before school starts. So couple little tidbits there. So we do compare year over year. Let's dive into these Hillsborough County market conditions. Total number of closed sales was down 13.6% from 1,650 to 1,425. Cash sales was down 11% from 308 to 274. Median sales price was down 1.1% from 435 to 430, while average sales price was down 1% from $556,256 to $550,940. Median percent of original list price was down 0.7% from 97 to 96.3%. And median time to contract was actually went up a little bit, 7.1%. From 28 days to 30 days. That is very much seller's market territory. Total number of new listings held steady, only a 0.5% increase, 2,076 homes to 2,086 homes. Active inventory is up again, 33.4% from 3,716 to 4,958. And the doom and gloom numbers, foreclosures and short sales. Foreclosures, there was a total of 5. Short sales, there was also 5. Now, I do like to dive into the different price points because a $1 million house sells in a little bit different time frame than a $300,000 house. And that's primarily because there's more buyers in the buyer pool at that $300,000 number. There's more people wanting to buy it, so there's more demand on them. Now, closed sales by sales price, a couple interesting things here, which is sort of the higher price points, there's fewer that have sold. So 300 to 400 dropped 11.5%, 400 to 600 dropped 22.9%, to 502, 600 to $1 million dropped 4.4% to 237. I cut to the chase. Most of that's because of the hurricanes. Stay tuned to the analysis for a little bit more. Median time to contract. Things are taking longer up and down the price scale. So 200 to 250 is up 87.5% to 15 days. 250 to 300,000 is up 42.3% to 30 to 7 days. 400 to 600 is only up 3.3% to 31 days, and so on. Total number of new listings. The only price point that is down is 400 to 600,000, which dropped 11.7% to 727. 200 to 250 had the largest increase with 48.8% to 61. Again, it's the hurricanes. Inventory by current list price. Everything is up across the board. So whatever price point you're looking at, there are way more houses to look at now than there was this time last year. 250 to 300, there's only 192 houses for sale, but that's 24% more than there was last year. 300 to 400,000 was up 38.9% to 1,140 homes. 400 to 600 is up 25.2%, 1,764 homes. 600 to $1 million is up 32.9% to 1,031 homes, and $1 million or more is up 45.9% to 731. So those are the stats for Hillsborough County for June 2025. Now, if you remember back to your, middle school-ish math classes, you might remember average and median numbers or prices. So average is pretty self-explanatory. Most people know what average is. You take, let's say, 10 houses, you add up the price that all of those houses sold for, you divide it by 10, that gives you the average sales price. Median sales price is a little bit different though. So what that is let's say you have 100 houses that have sold. The median is the point at which there's an equal number of homes at a higher price point as at a lower price point. So it's more of the true midpoint of the market. And it's not affected as much if a large number of very inexpensive or very expensive homes sell. So for example, if a $10 or $15 million house happens to sell, that will really move the average sales price, but it will not impact the median sales price as much. So that's why I usually pay more attention to median sales price. So what exactly can we make of these numbers in Hillsborough County? Well, first thing to know is Hillsborough County has basically been within a $10,000 or $15,000 price band, kind of 430, 440, 445. It has been within that price band for like a year and a half at this point. So Hillsborough County has been rock solid. That is despite 2 hurricanes coming through within a week of each other. And that is also despite all of this other stuff going on. All of the economics, the tariffs, the interest rates, all of this other stuff. Despite all of that, both Pinellas and Hillsborough County actually have been holding strong. Now, in those numbers, you will see that there's a surprising number of $200,000 to $250,000 houses that have been listing. A lot more than there was previously. The initial read that a lot of people have for that is, there's a lot of more affordable housing. Not really. Those are mostly flood damaged homes. And unfortunately, flood damaged homes, you can usually only buy them with cash. So unfortunately, most of those are not, like if you're trying to get a conventional loan, you usually cannot purchase those homes. But the good news is a large number of homes for sale, and the market is relatively tempered by those conditions. Because like holding steady is not the worst thing if you're thinking about buying a home. Like holding steady is good. Like steadily increasing, not so good. And honestly, steadily decreasing is even worse because it is hard to bite the bullet and buy a house if you think that it's going to be worth less 2 months from now. Having lived through the Great Recession people kind of forget that part about it. A lot of people are questioning, they're like, how can there be 5,000 homes that are for sale? We're only selling 1,425. How is median sales price still holding steady despite that? And the answer is it takes time, and it takes a long time for sellers to begin to get antsy enough to make drastic cuts to their home price. Again, going back to the Great Recession, it's usually about 6 months, six to 8 months before you really start seeing prices come down. And the truth is, there is not that big of an imbalance between the two. And the only reason that active inventory is up that high is not because we are basically the number of closed sales dropped after July 2022. It hasn't quite recovered yet. And 1,400 homes this year is less than 1,600 homes last year. And so, just overall sellers are not super stressed to sell to the point where they're making drastic cuts. And that is backed up by our median sales price, again, hanging around this 430 mark. And also median time to contract being at 30 days. If the midpoint of the market is 30 days, that is still sellers getting pretty close to what they want for it. That is not a lot of difficulty in selling. Now, Hillsborough County was not quite as affected as Pinellas County was with the flooding and the storm damages and stuff like that. Even over there, if we go over there, if you look at the numbers, it looks like they've taken a hit because median sales price looks like it's down. But if you actually generate the report and remove the significantly flood damaged coastal areas, you can see that median sales price in like St. Petersburg, for example, is actually higher this year than it was last year. And Hillsborough County would look the same way if you do remove the flood damaged areas. Now, Hillsborough County, the storm damage was not quite as extensive as Pinellas County got hit, but still, it was enough that it's kind of affecting these numbers a little bit. Overall, Hillsborough County's still steady eddying along. If you're thinking about selling, it's a good time to get a very good price. And in a couple cases, I've still been able to set the highest Price sold in various neighborhoods across Tampa and Valrico and Brandon. And on the buyer side, there is a lot to choose from now. We have not had this many homes to choose from since 2017, 2018. It's just a very interesting market. And I will, as a completely, self-reflective admission, if you had told me last year, hey, we're gonna have 2 hurricanes wreck the entire area within a week of each other, what's the real estate market look like? I would not have even come close to this. This is very good news for the region, considering those facts. So anyway, that's what I see in the stats. And there's nothing, I don't see anything in the stats that trend is going to change anytime soon. At some point, if inventory continues climbing, at some point it has to overwhelm the number of sales, but so far as the numbers are showing, we are not anywhere close to that, not even marginally from what I can see. So those are the numbers for Hillsborough County for June 2025. Thank you so much for watching these market statistics. My name is Kyle Sasser. If you would like help finding your own great place in the Tampa Bay area, I would love to help you out. You can reach me at 727-300-2111. Feel free to call or text that number. There's also a link in the description down below to my calendar, and you can go there, book a chat at the time that works best for you. I promise that 15 or 30 minute chat will save you months and months and months of Googling around trying to find answers. Real estate is still a very offline, and the information is also extremely local. So like the information that I'm giving you here about Pinellas County, that does not apply to Sarasota, for example. Sarasota is its own separate thing. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Kyle Sasser, and I'll talk to you soon.